would just be talking, sir.
Yeah. So Mr. First of all, thank you so much for your guidance. I'm sure students are now even more enthusiastic for their journey ahead.
Yeah.
Next we have alumni talk from Mr. Bhavnesh Janeja. Sir, Bhavnesh sir is working with NHA, Government of India, as a contract management expert. Before joining NHA, sir worked with some of the reputed firms such as EY, Bharat Broadband Network Limited, and Bechtel. Sir completed his MBA from Delhi School of Management and Marketing and IT in 2013. Sir believes in simplification of complex problems, and with an experience of more than 6 years in marketing, Sir has developed a vast knowledge in project management, project scheduling, monitoring, conceptualization, and contracting. I now welcome you, sir, on behalf of Delhi School of Management and request you to please share your views and learning. We also have Archana ma'am with us. Ma'am, if you would like to speak a word or two.
HOD ma'am, your mic is mute, I believe.
Mic is on mute.
Okay. Sorry. I
Good
hope it's
morning, ma'am.
audible now.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Yes,
morning.
ma'am, you're
So
on.
we have to get used to this online kind of thing. Uh, I was busy in the class, so I just got over. I thought I should meet my alumnus. So Sumit, how are you doing? Nice to listen the mature talk that these students are giving. These are the students who have studied from us, and we know their behavior in and out in the class also. And now they're talking like professionals that you should do this, you should do that. Good to
Yeah.
hear. So how
I'm
is everything, Sumit?
doing good, ma'am. Nice to see you after I think 8 9 years.
I know. So
That's a good
we
way of
are
connecting.
planning. Definitely, we are planning for that alumni meet also. If once the thing gets fine, so we will have a offline meet, and
Definitely.
definitely in that we would expect you because we thought we will have a half a day session focused on alumni talk so that our new batch should know where our alumni are placed and how they have worked throughout those 2 years with all the ups and downs. They had a great learning. I think DSM taught you so many things
Yeah.
that you can reckon with, right? And
Yeah.
then after this, you need to move on with the new learnings. You should not stop learning. And that is what I can see in all my students, all my alumni, that whoever we meet. So thank you, Sumit, for sparing time. We will
Thanks,
keep
ma'am.
connected, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was
Ma'am,
nice interacting.
Thanks a lot.
we have Bhavnesh sir also, ma'am.
Yes, Bhuvnesh, I remember. So, Bhuvnesh, can you show me your face?
I'm in office at this moment, ma'am, so I will not be able to take it for far too long. But thank you for having me on this call today, and it was indeed great to.
Bhavnesh. है ना भुवनेश कर रहे हैं. Now I can recognize by looking at your face. Yes. All these students were too quiet, little introvert, although they took marketing, but little introvert. And now look at how confident they are. So probably we can give credit to DSM, right, Bhavnesh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Indeed.
we should. So good to see you here on this platform and address the new students with your experiences, with your journey of 2 years in DSM, and hope to keep connected in future also, right? So this is not the first and the last time. We should keep on. You're always welcome to your alma mater.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Thank you.
without wasting time, yes, Ishan, you can carry on.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, sir. Sir, as you would like to greet the students.
Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody, for having me on this session today. Thanks, Archana, ma'am, for this invitation today. And Sumit, it is always nice to have you, interacting with you. So great memories we have always had. So great to have seeing you giving that gyan to everybody around, like we do when we meet one on one, just like we did last week. So thanks for reiterating that. So hi everyone. I think a more than humble, introduction from one of your colleagues. I think she has gone through the LinkedIn profile reasonably in detail. So I'm happy that somebody is going through it. It always helps. So yeah, just as they just mentioned, so I'm currently just a quick brief, a minute or so. I'm currently working with the NHA as a contract management expert, and now about 8 years of work experience in total. And Sumit and I are from the same batch, the class of 2013. So it's been more than 8 years that we left the campus. It's been a great journey, I think, having moved over to about 3, 4 employers already. So great learning curve that we have always carried from the uh, institute that we left. So
So,
good
sorry
work.
to interrupt,
Yeah,
but but your audio is a little low. If you could be a little more louder, it would be great.
yeah. So is it any better now?
Yes, sir, much better. Thank you.
Okay, great. So Pawan, is it any better now? Okay, I think there was a bit of a glitch in between, and maybe there is a bit of lag too. So, just sharing with you the journey we have already gone through, like spending 2 years in the campus. I think the so this class basically that is joining today. I understand is a batch of how many people approximately? About 100 odd.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am assuming that some of you have already have had some stint as a professional, and some of you might be joining as freshers, much like we did when we entered our MBAs. So the only thing I think I will have for, especially for the people who are joining fresh out of their undergrad, is to treat this particular course, more as a professional course than as a regular. Education which you probably have had in the past. An MBA is not something wherein you go down to the books or the slides, or you go down to the journals and give your exams and you are done. It is more like an experience. Uh, I can tell you from my reasonable experience that uh, if you are a regular MBA and there is somebody in the room who is either not an MBA or maybe MBA from a correspondence, that should reflect. I think that is a responsibility a regular MBA carries on its shoulders. You should treat this more as an experience, more than as experience of working with a lot of people. Uh, the kind of economy we are, wherein services is primarily one of the key industries which employs a large number of people. I think that is one of the skill sets and that all of you should start engaging in right during the college. I think that will really help you, because in services it is the people whom you deal with. It is the processes that you ultimately either develop or you adhere to. So it is always a good idea that you start engaging with your I'll not call them classmates, to be honest with you. I'll rather call them your colleagues, because you are in that group. As your journey begins, you will be put into different case studies, different events that will go on. So treat that as an event wherein you are in a way bound to work with people you may or may not have a liking for. Obviously, it will take some time, but I think one of the key things and I think that is something DSM also promotes to a very large extent, is that irrespective of your liking, your groups, try and work with as many people as possible. Try and work, if you are a batch of 100 people, your aim should be at the end of 2 years, you should have worked with at least 70 odd people in one or more activities at least. The kind of exposure that this will give you is one key thing beyond the course curriculum, obviously, which is going to help you, right? So I think that is one of the key takeaways. Probably, I think I should be sharing with you, given that the kind of work profiles that you will probably land into. You might get into consulting, or you might get into sales, you might get into core finance, or you might land up somewhere in the HR or maybe IT as a business analyst or something. If you look at all of these, most of these are extremely people dependent. You will have dependencies, and so the people may or may not be under your control. They will do things as they deem fit. So essentially, that people management skill is what you need to start imbibing right now. These 2 years are a very good opportunity to do that, and leverage that. And let me be honest with you, that is one single trait that will help you really a lot. When you land for interviews, when you land in good teams, that is one skill that will help. Another thing I'll want to talk about is also about leveraging the you know ecosystem that you have around. What I understand is that most of you probably are joining the DTU campus, right? I am not sure if there are two people who are also joining the other campuses, but is it that the case?
No, sir. We are all from DSM only.
Okay.
Yes.
So all DSM, but all of you will be studying out of the same campus, the same DTU campus, right?
Yes, sir.
So I think that is where this particular institute has given you an added advantage on day one. You have exposure to a lot of one of the best engineering minds, around you. The other disciplines within the university. In other institutes, you may have exposure only to people which are similar to you, pursuing similar courses like you. But when you come to DTU, the exposure you have, the varied exposure you will get is something you should really take advantage of, because there are a lot of activities that keep going around in the DTU campus. Maybe it is MG Fest or some entrepreneurship seller. These were the things that were happening during we were there, but they might have increased to a certain extent. So you try and leverage that connection as well, because let me tell you, all those undergrads as well are looking towards you, because you have that added advantage. You have already gone through the journey, so they too want to leverage your managerial skill set. So it is always good to get in touch with them, not just for a matter of networking. I would think that would be the mean, but also to engage with people who have a different background, different mindset, and the kind of activities they do. So do leverage that. I think that is one of the key learnings I have had during my stint, and I do carry a couple of people even today I'm connected with. So that really helps. Third, I think again specific to the campus is do leverage the very vast campus that you have at hand. Once you start working, you move to your own accommodations. Obviously, you might not have the luxury of going into such a huge campus. I think do take it, especially for the people who live out of the hostels. I think one of the most fabulous campuses that we have had, such huge. Don't be surprised if you see rains only in your campus, and just to move out of the university gate, there is no rain around. So do leverage, do cherish that, and just leverage the kind of huge campus you have. So that is other aspect of being in DP. And moving to curriculum, I think Sumit has given you a lot of insight already. The only aspect I would rather wanted to augment his comment was, apart from your curriculum, apart from the softwares, after I joined in, there were a lot of questions around which software for marketing, which software for HR, which software for finance. So yes, all valid questions. Try and get a grasp of it. But a suggestion would only be to treat all these tools as an enablers. At this point in time, your focus should be to understand the process. At this point in time, if you are a finance guy, you should try and see what a double entry means. So I have had a tough time, by the way, but thankfully, since I was not into finance as my specialization, so I didn't have much of an issue. But yes, uh, lately in the career, I have also had that stint with finance from the commercial side as well. So that is it. So at this point in time, just try and focus on the concepts of all that you can go through, and then pick whatever your liking is, whatever your background is. Maybe if you're coming in as a computer or an IT engineer, you may want to understand what business analysis is. You may want to understand how database does, and what has changed in the last 8 years is that when we were probably moving out of the college, the managerial roles were kind of had a clear demarcation from technical roles, which has changed, and that has changed very drastically now. People, even in managerial positions, are expected to know a lot of technology, a lot of technical skills. Even as a IT manager, you are supposed to know how SQL works. You are supposed to know how you write a SQL query, right? So that has changed in the 8 years. And if that has changed, uh, so with that, since you will be joining the workforce in 2 years from now, that is one input you should already have in hand, right? So that is where you should try and leverage and not restrict yourselves only to the managerial aspects and ignoring what you have learned in the past. Please make sure that what you have learned in the past is only a carry forward of what you are doing now. Just treat that as a augmentation of what you have done. So I think this is pretty much I had, and I'm overshot on time as well. So I would rather open the floor for any questions that you may have.
So the students could raise their hands and ask questions from sir if there are any.
Anything, anybody? I just have to put it back. Yeah. Anybody, any questions? So I see one couple of questions in the chat window.
Yeah.
If a student doesn't know where his interest lies and how to choose a field for internship, that's an interesting question. So, see, and I think don't be surprised to see that you are not alone in the boat. This happens with a lot of people. You might not be very sure what your interests are. So that is the reason I said that you try and with a clean slate, you try and learn whatever is the curriculum for you, and then there would be something that wherein you would want to do a bit more research, you would want to delve a bit deeper, and see if that interests you. And there is no harm in trying because you have 2 years to do. So you may end up, trying your hand at something for some assignment, some exercise, and then if that does not work out, you ultimately end up trying a bit of a hand elsewhere as well. So, like and I'll share a live example. When we were doing our MBA, I chose marketing as my. I was about to choose marketing as my, specialization. So there was a organization called Cargill, Cargill. So it's a big FMCG. So they wanted to have some MBA people for their big day program, big billion day program around, I think, 15th of August. So they wanted us to be present at their stores, I mean, the big bazaar stores. So I think 8, 10 of us, batchmates, we were allotted different uh, stores to be present the entire day for about 7 days and learn the basics of modern trade. So their idea was not to make you learn, but our idea was to take a hand at what this means to us. So I think that was a great experience, which told you how difficult or simple, and it will depend on somebody, what sales looks like. So that was a good hand, and it could help me make a decision that whether I have to go into this stream, whether I want to explore further, or is it something not my cup of tea. So those kind of things will. So these events, little events, wherein you do not have a responsibility, you just get in, you do your 5, 7, 10 days, maybe 1 month or so, and then you're out of it, and you have taken the uh, learning out of it. Yeah, thank you. Which was software that you need as a first person now. Okay, so I think to start with, if you tell me software tool, I think the best favor you can do to yourself is hone your MS Office skills. Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. I think that is where we will be using a lot of those. And trust me, there is a dearth of people who really know how to do this. So try and use those tools to the extent possible. Try and use it good data sets, and also try and use it efficiently. It is not just that you know how an Excel works. You know, obviously, it is a matrix kind of a structure. but how efficiently and quickly you can perform operations on it is what will give you an edge. So yeah, I think instead of focusing on a lot of other tools which you may or may not have access to, try and hone your MS Office. Yeah, my pleasure, Derek. Thank you. So, Vikas, as far as finance is concerned, I will rather ask the question. You have a second session today with Namu. I think he's from the finance background. He'll be able to give you a better picture. Okay, what kind of work for that? Okay. So to start as a fresher, see the kind of profiles that you may land up is more of a business analyst. So again, as I said, this again links to what we are doing today. Uh, you try and understand the process, the kind of principles that you are being taught. So the same expectation you will have when you land up in a IT job. So there would be, so if you go to some course on Coursera or maybe edX, you'll understand what business analysis is. What it essentially is that there is some process that is being done currently, maybe manually, in some shape and format. You understand that process, and then you break it down, and see what and all pieces I can automate for increasing the efficiency. So that is what a business analyst is supposed to do. So again, learning that technique, writing wireframes was something that will come when you move in. That's okay. But you have that bent for understanding the process first. You need to have that bent for eyeing those little details and figuring out what can go wrong there, what is that can be done efficiently here, is that a little scope, right? So all those aspects will come in when you do the requirement gathering, ultimately the business. Yeah, yes, you are right. See, I think, to be honest, I have not had such an experience, but if you are able to see the kind of image that we carry probably from the outer world is that if you have a gap, you are not going to be at least entertained at all, which I personally think is not the case. If you have a valid reason why is there a gap, if you pursued higher studies, right? If you had some family exigency, or for females if they have had a maternity gap in between, that's all justifiable. That is something everybody understands. So if we are able to justify why this gap, I think that will not be a problem. The only impact it may have, what people may try to leverage is that they may be compromising you at your compensation to only at the time of once you are joining in. Since you had done that job maybe for 4 years, 5 years, you know the in and out of it, and after 2 years you are joining, you are able to show that, see, I know this process in and out, and this is the value addition I have. Even that, I think, hit that you take while joining is taken care of. Nobody wants to lose somebody who has a good understanding of the entire thing. I hope that answers. Okay, so I think there are no more questions. So, anyways, if you have any questions, even later on, you can obviously feel free to connect with me, and I'll be happy to connect over. And thanks once again to the organizers, to the faculty for providing me for this opportunity. It is indeed a pleasure connecting back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with the words. And a great round of applause for sir, please. And I hope this will really guide the students with your experiences and they will take this forward. So if we receive any further questions, I could let the committee ask to coordinate with you, and I hope you could answer us for them.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too.